Happy Friday! Coming off a 2-0 mini sweep. This betting thing is just too easy. Let's talk some basketball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we made it to the end of the week, baby. That's right. I hope everyone had a great week out there. I don't just mean sports betting, I mean in life. Real quick, before we dive into basketball stuff, NFL video is out right now. Go check it out for the Saturday games. We have a video for every day this weekend. I preview both games and I give you our best bets. I got 3 bets in those 2 games on Saturday. And then Sunday, there's 3 games. And we have a video coming out for that Friday afternoon, Friday evening. So stay tuned for that. And then we'll have another one for the Monday game. So that's what's going on in the NFL playoffs. But what an awesome community we have. You guys had so much support, so many positive things to say in the comments yesterday after what's been a rough stretch for me, to be honest with you. You guys all know that. We talked about it yesterday. But you guys are awesome. Way more positivity than negativity. And you guys have been betting for a while. You know how this goes. You go through thick and thin. It's called gambling for a reason, obviously. So it is tough. So thanks to all the loyal people, all the loyal followers. We keep grinding, and we had a 2-0 day. Feels like we went 100-0 because every win just seems so difficult in the NBA right now. But we did it. So I love going back and forth with you guys, especially on Discord all day and in the YouTube comments. So I appreciate it. But before we start this show, we got to get into some dad jokes. So here we go, because we got a big show for you after this. All right, joke number 1. Here we go. To the guy who invented zero, thanks for nothing. All right, not bad. All right, I could tell a joke about pizza, but it's a little cheesy. Wow, that one is bad. Okay, here we go. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything. That's a good science joke right there. If you don't know what that means, Google it. All right, in this video, we're going to recap yesterday. Then we're going to talk centers, defenses. They give up the most points, the most rebounds, and the most assists to the center position. And then we're going to take a peek inside the lines and talk against the spread and over under teams like we try to do every Friday. I think it's been 2 weeks since we did this. And then I'll give you my 3 best bets, and we have a Friday parlay. So we got a lot to get into. Of course, we'll finish it with the bets recap. Hit that like button, leave a comment below, help this channel grow. Let's keep grinding day in and day out, because what's better than waking up every day and talking sports betting? It is freaking awesome. So let's get into it, and it starts with the recap. All right, there it is. Spencer Dinwiddie under 10.5 rebounds plus assists. An easy winner. He ended with 5, I believe. Only played 15 minutes. I thought he played closer to 20 to 23 minutes. So I'll gladly take it. No better feeling than betting under on a guy who's just sitting on the bench watching the game. Gotta love it. And then Jared Allen, Isaiah Hartenstein, 10 plus rebounds each at minus 111. That was an easy winner, guys. Easy where we had to wait till the fourth quarter, but Allen got it done, and he gets rebounds in bunches. My goodness. Hartenstein also, he had 9 rebounds that picked up his 4th foul and sat out until the fourth quarter. I was worried about a blowout, and then he went absolutely bonkers. Those guys are monsters on the glass. Just stay tuned or check those lines out every single game. He ended with 15 rebounds. So a nice 2-0 day, finally. I'm not getting all crazy. It was 2-0 day after a rough stretch. We got to keep this rolling, got to keep the momentum going. 91 and 84 on the year, up 6.98 units. Let's keep it rolling. But before we get into the best bets, let's talk some centers. All right, we start out with the points given up to the center position on the left side of the 10 defenses, giving up the most in the last 15 days. And look at that. We got a little color coordination going on here. So Hornets giving up the most at 32.31, just struggling in the paint, and they're playing Victor Wembanyama, Mr. Wemby, who is averaging 21.6 points per game and also averaging about that in minutes played, because Pop is just holding a tight leash on the teenager. And then the Pistons over there, number 3, they're playing right across the way, Alperen Sengun of the Houston Rockets. Pistons giving up almost 27 points per game. Sengun is averaging 24.4. The other matchup, Hawks 26.54 points per game, playing Miles Turner and the Halliburton-less, that's a big word, Indiana Pacers. He's averaging 18.4 points per game in the last 15 days. So that's other than that, those are all the other centers. That's take a screenshot, get some winners. Let's move over to the rebounds now. We only got one matchup on this one. It's the Grizzlies giving up 17.35 rebounds per game to centers, playing Ivica Zubac of the LA Clippers. at 11.6 rebounds per game. Sabonis up there, Jared Allen, Drummond, Embiid, so on and so on. Those are the big men getting the most rebounds per game. Let's check out the assists now, although assists to centers is a little interesting category. But Pistons, number one, giving up 6.5, and they are playing Alperen Şengün like we already talked about. So he's got a nice little matchup there. Obviously, always blowout potential, but we'll talk about that game. He's averaging 4.7 assists. Sabonis leading the way with 9 assists per game. My goodness, averaging a ton more potential assists than De'Aaron Fox, as I was looking at before this. Jokic 8.8, Embiid 6.5. If he can get back on the court, that would be nice. So on and so on. And Chet Holmgren, the guy who's probably leading the Rookie of the Year because Wemby just isn't playing. That's the only reason. But anyways, that's the center position. Take a screenshot. Hopefully it gets you guys some winners. If you're new, we do a new position every single day, Monday through Friday. And also on Friday, we like to take a peek inside the lines. All right, we start out with the 10 best against the spread teams in the NBA. If you are new to seeing this, the ATS against the spread plus minus. As you can see over there on the right, that is the average amount of points that the team covers that spread by. So if they're -7, they win by 11, they cover it by 4 that game, if that makes sense. So anyways, the OKC Thunder 25, 11, and 1, just an absolute horse right now. Horse, that's not the right term. Wagon. Let's go with that. Even though they let me down one game, but that's okay. Orlando Magic 25 and 12, so on and so on, all the way down the list. The highest plus minus right now is the Thunder, just absolutely smacking the against the spread, and they just put another beat down on somebody yesterday, I believe. So, anyways, those are the best against the spread teams, just to help you guys out that like to make spread picks and things like that. Let's go check out now the over/under numbers. Indiana Pacers still clinging on barely to the number one over team like they have been all season long. Plus 5.8 to the over. That used to be in the teens. I mean, it was insane. But those games are starting to go under a little bit, as my Pacer fans are telling me in the comments. Starting new guys, getting rid of Toppin out of the starting lineup. Games are going under. Plus, the totals were just astronomically high for a while. And they get to play the number 2 team. So we're going to talk about that game also. But Atlanta Hawks right behind them, 23 and 13. Pistons, Thunder, surprising because they got a decent defense, but they're very efficient offense. So those are the over teams, and the total plus minus, same thing. They're going over the total by an average of that many points. And then we move over to the right. The best under teams, the Memphis Grizzlies, have taken over the number one spot. 15 and 22 means they've gone under the total in 22 of the 37 games. The minus just means under the total by that much. So they've gone under by 3.7. They've been kind of crushing the unders, to be honest, lately. And then we got the Nuggets, who've been up there all year, right around even, but 16 and 23 to the under. Clippers, so on and so on. So those are the best over/under teams in the NBA so far this season. And now it's time. Let's get into the best bets. All right, this first game takes us out to Chicago, Illinois. We got the Bulls hosting the Golden State Warriors. Bulls -3, over under 229.5. I'm not going to go over against the spread and over-unders on all these games like I usually do because we just went over it, so I don't need to repeat it. Injuries in this game: Chris Paul out, Torrey Craig for the Bulls out, Moses Moody for the Warriors out, and Draymond Green is out for this game, of course, which he gave a press conference, which I have not heard all of yet, but I've heard about it. So, but my best bet in this game, you already know. Kobe White, baby. 18 plus points and 4 plus rebounds at -125 on DraftKings. The Jabbo Hall of Famer, 6-2 on his bets this year. Kobe White, 18 plus points. I know this is kind of a weird bet. If you cannot do these alt lines, by the way, my alternate would be Kobe White over 20.5 points on its own because I like that. I almost went with just that. But this man is on fire yet again. My freaking goodness. I've been missing out. I've been missing the Kobe train. I didn't know how he was going to play with Levine. And the answer is better, even better. He has scored 30, 27, 22, and 26 his last 4 games. Like I said, I like the over 20.5. Levine has been back for the last 3 of those 4 games, just so you guys know. And in those 3 games, he's played 37 plus minutes in all of them. My only worry, because I like to give you both sides, and if my worry scares you off, that's fine. This is your call. I'm just giving you my opinions. My only worry is that he may be tired, kind of like Boncaro tired, but Kobe's he's a shooter. He's not as physical as Boncaro and things like that, but I am a little worried because he has played so many minutes. But again, I'm asking for 18 and 4. I'm not asking for the world. I think Boncaro's was like a huge 40-something PRA level line. But Warriors, who he is playing against, average versus point guards, giving up around 25 points per game. So not a terrible matchup, not a great matchup, things like that. He has scored 18 plus points in 18 of his last 22 games. I mean, that's pretty legit right there. And the crazy thing is, he's doing with this with a Bulls team that is 30th in pace. That's impressive. He is extremely efficient on the offensive end. Imagine if he was playing on a team that was like up and down all the time. That'd be crazy. The Warriors may help that pace a little bit. They have the 15th highest pace or fastest pace in the league, so right around average, but better than 30th. So give me Kobe White to score an easy 18 plus in this game. Possible blowout potential. Why do I say that? Because it's an NBA game. That's really what I'm going to say. Bulls at home. If the Warriors don't play well, Warriors can sometimes get blown out. So I think taking it down to 18 hopefully helps a little bit of that blowout if it does happen. Um, Next one, Kobe, 4+ rebounds. He's gotten 4+ rebounds. Get this. This is mind boggling. In 20 straight games. Now, I know I said something like this about Julius Randle when I had him in a parlay, and he was my only leg that lost. I think he scored 20+ points in 19 straight games, and he scores 8 for me. But this is Kobe. You guys know Kobe. He can't let us down. 4+ rebounds in 20 straight games. In the last 10 games, he is averaging. You know, I love to look at potential, and this is how you predict it. Averaging 10 rebound chances per game. 10. You assume he gets 50% of those. But he's averaging 11 rebound chances per game in the last 3 games with Zach LaVine, so it went up one. But he's converted around 55% of his rebounds this year, 60% in the last 3 games. So with those numbers, you assume he's going to get about 6 rebounds. I only need 4. The line is at 4.5. It's juiced to the over. I took it down to 4. That's all I need for the 21st straight time. That's absolutely insane. Warriors giving up the 11th most rebounds to the point guard position in the last 30 days at 6.34. With the amount of chances he gets, how many rebound chances, he really gets his head in there. He likes to get some rebounds and minutes he plays, which has just been astronomical amount, especially lately. I absolutely love this bet. I just need him to go for 18+ points and 4+ rebounds for the 17th time in 21 games. That's right, 17th time in 21 games to go 18-4, and the 21st time for the 4+ rebounds. So let's ride the Jabbo Hall of Famer Kobe White, 18+ points, 4+ rebounds as my bet number 1. Bet number 2 is the Rockets and Clippers moneyline parlay, baby. We have not done this in a while. We are due. I know picking money lines is tough. Picking everything is tough right now, though. -128 on BetMGM. Now, Rockets moneyline. Let's talk them first. They on the road here, taking on the Detroit Pistons. Without Cade Cunningham, of course. The Rockets 7.5-point favorites for a reason. I know the Rockets are better at home, but this is Detroit. They're an absolute mess, especially without Cade Cunningham. They sucked with Cade. Let's be honest with you. I think the only thing I should say and then move on to save everyone's time is that the Pistons are 3-35. 3-35. What? What else should I say? I will talk more because I'm kind of a nerd like that and like to talk sports more. But this Pistons team without Cade just lost to the Spurs by 22. I'm going to say that again. They just lost to the Spurs by 22. That's not easy to do. They lost to the Kings by 21. They were actually up 18 after the first quarter. We're all freaking out in Discord. Up 18. This is how bad they are. They can go from up 18 in the first quarter to down 21 by the end of the game. That was pathetic. Just a lucky first quarter. They're making a ton of shots. Head to head, the Rockets beat them by 23 on New Year's Day. That was with Cade and Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren will be playing, obviously not Cade. I think Şengün has a good game here too, for what it's worth. We already talked about the matchups and everything, so that's not a surprise. But huge advantage on the defensive side of the ball for the Rockets. I mean, third defensive rating for the Rockets, third best, and the Pistons 28th. I mean, that's just absolutely humongous. Plus, they have obviously better players on offense as well. I don't think the Pistons score that much in this game. Maybe if it's a blowout and they get some trash points at the end. I haven't bet many team totals, but I don't mind the Pistons team total under 109.5 also in this one. Just as a look, look more into it. You team total people might know more. I'm a team total guy in football and in baseball, but not much in basketball. So, but if the Rockets give the Pistons the 4th win of the season without their best player, I think I'm going to give up. I'm just going to give up. It's time to go get a desk job and move on with my life because that would be absolutely insane. Give me the freaking Rockets money line. Don't let me down, Houston. Clippers money line. Next one. They're on the road taking on the Grizzlies. I understand the Grizzlies have burned me before. I understand the Grizzlies fans in the comments say I need to put more respect on them. They are playing hard. I don't think they're awful. And they buried me last time because the Mavericks sucked. I do respect all that. I really do. But this Clippers team is a different animal. This is not the Mavericks. And by the way, Marcus Smart is now out, along with John Morant. He scored 23 last game in the upset win against the Mavericks. I mean, they're struggling, guys. It's the JJJ and Desmond Bain show for them. Bain will have to be lights out like he was against Dallas for them to compete in this game. The Clippers 5-2 in their last 7 road games. This is no joke. This team can play in those 7 road games. Those 5 wins include wins over the Pelicans, Suns, Mavericks, Jazz, and Pacers. Not easy places to play or win. I think the Clippers can limit Jaren Jackson with their defense with Kawhi and Zubac and all those guys down there. Um, I just don't think it's a good matchup for the Grizzlies, to be honest with you. And I'm going to I think the Clippers probably cover the 7.5. I think they win by 10 plus points in this one. I know it's tough. It's 2 road teams. I get all that. But I'm facing a Grizzlies team that just continues to be decimated with injuries, and also a Pistons team that is 3-35. That's what I'm doing for this money line parlay. So give me the Rockets. Give me the Clippers money line parlay as my second best bet. All right, this third and final bet before we get into the Friday parlay is the Hawks at Pacers. Hawks minus 5.5. Total 252 in this game. The highest total on the board by far today. We've already talked about it. These are the 2 best over teams in the NBA. Still no Tyrese Halliburton, which is why you see Atlanta as a 5.5 point favorite. One of the worst against the spread teams in the league, too, Atlanta, and they're 5.5 point favorites. My best bet in this game, it's a player prop. I know it's not an under, but I got to go with this. It's one of my favorite bets. I honestly, people want to know what my favorite bet is out of these every time I give these out. It's really hard. I only put the bets that I love out there. This one might be number one, but I don't know. It's hard to know. It's just hard. I'm just rambling. Here we go. Best bet, Bruce Brown over 17.5 points plus rebounds at minus 115 on DraftKings. Now, I was kind of curious how everyone would step up and where the minutes would go and who would play well in Halliburton's absence. Talk better. Talk much? One player whose lines are too low, I think, are this boy, this guy, this man, Bruce Brown. He's played 4 games without Halliburton now. I'm going to not even count one of them. He played like 20 minutes, and it was an utter blowout versus the Boston Celtics. The other 3 games, he got 22, 25, and 24 points plus rebounds in the other 3 games this season. And he also played 27 or more minutes in all 3 games. So the lowest he's gotten is 22. And by the way, the 22 was against the Timberwolves. Oh, by the way, they're like a top 3 defense, just elite as all get out. I only need 18, and just an unbelievable matchup with the Atlanta Hawks with a total of 252. This is insane. The more I talk about it, the more this might be my favorite bet. So the reason I didn't take his PRA lines is because he would need to get about 4 assists to break even with this. In the 3 games that Halliburton, he has 2, 2, and 6. Okay, so he's only done that one time, but it went over 6. Okay, so I wanted to look even farther into it because I have issues, and that's what I do. I dug deeper into why he got 6, which was last game actually, and because then I was thinking, well, maybe he's dishing out more. He got 6 assists on 7 potential assists. That's not sustainable at all. That's just a fluky game. He converted almost 100% of his potential assists. Usually, you expect around 50%. So obviously, that will come down. It may not come down this game. Who knows? If you like PRA line, I don't blame you at all because he could get 4. Again, it's against the Hawks, fastest paced game you'll play, 252 total. He very well could, but I'm just going to stay with the points and rebounds. So Jalen Smith may also not play for the Pacers, which could boost him up another few minutes, get around 30 minutes per game. We will see how that all works out. But I just love this line. Give me Bruce Brown over 17.5 points plus rebounds as my third best bet. And now let's check out that sponsorship with BetMGM. All right, thanks to our partnership with OddsShopper, we can present this incredible offer from BetMGM, and it is very limited time only. So if you were thinking about signing up, there's no better time than now. For new users, you bet $5, get $158 instantly in bonus bets. I will say that again. You get $158 in bonus bets. It's unbelievable. You have to click on the link below in the description, sign up, and there you go. You are off and running. All you have to do is deposit $10 into your account, but you only have to bet $5 to get 158 instantly in bonus bets. It's a great deal. Check that link out below. Get started if you are in an eligible state. If you're 21, you must be 21 years or older. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER now to the Friday Parlay. All right, it's that time of the week, and we got a 3-legger juicy one. It is the Friday Parlay. Give me Jalen Duren, double-double. Sadiq Bey, over 7.5 rebounds plus assists. And Chris Dunn of the Jazz, under 6.5 assists. That is an alt line. His line is actually 5.5. So I'm just going to talk briefly about each one. This is plus 290 on DraftKings. Jalen Duren, double-double. He faces the Rockets here. In the last game versus the Rockets, he had 12 points, 14 rebounds in only 22 minutes. He doesn't need a lot of time to get a double-double. He's just been a machine. His odds used to be like minus 120 to get one. Now they're minus 180 on their own. Double-double in 11 of his last 12 games now. He's just an absolute beast. Şengün is not known for defense. He's not going to just slow him down completely. Yes, I still think the Rockets win. I know we talked about this game. He's played 30 or more minutes in 5 of the last 6 games now. Even if it's a blowout, like I said, he might only need like low to mid 20s minutes to get a double-double. He's a beast. So give me Jalen Duren double-double. Next one, Sadiq Bey of the Hawks, over 7.5 rebounds plus assists. He's gone over this line now in 9 of the last 10 games, averaging 11.8 rebound chances per game the last 10 games. He's converting about 60% of his rebound chances this season, which means if you take all those numbers, he'd get around 7 rebounds, and he only needs 8 rebounds plus assists. So he's averaging 8 rebounds per game in the last 10. He could easily go over this in rebounds alone, guys. He's actually gone over the 7.5 line in rebounds alone in 6 of the 10 games. As for assists, obviously he's not going to get a ton. He has 15 assists in the last 10 games, averaging 1.5 per game. But this is the category that honestly is the only reason this line is so low right now. And he could get 2 assists easily because he's had 7 assists now in the last 4 games. It's a pace-up game. Everything you look, all these numbers should be inflated even more because they're facing the Pacers. 252 total, lots of possessions. So if he can add 2 assists, that's a bonus. I would be absolutely shocked if he added 2 assists and he didn't go over this line. But like I said, I just love it because I think he could go over rebounds alone. I'm expecting around the 7 to 9 rebounds for him, and we only need 8 total. So if he gets 7 rebounds to the lower end, all we need is 1 assist to go over this. So I like Sadiq Bey over 7.5 RAs. The last one, Chris Dunn of the Jazz under 6.5 assists. Again, this line is 5.5. I'm taking the under 6.5. It's an alt line. He is the starting point guard for the Jazz, but they're very deep with their rotation. If you watch the Jazz, he hasn't played more than 25 minutes in a game since December 23rd. Now, for this one, I'm going to use a 9-game sample size because that's when both Jordan Clarkson and Keontae George came back. So now it's a full team, fully healthy. They're playing well too. He has gone under 6.5 assist line in 7 of those 9 games with everyone back. And this is the stat that absolutely got me, and it usually does. He is averaging only 8.7 potential assists per game in the last 9 games. 8.7, guys. He has to turn 8.7 of those into 7 to go over this. That's an insane conversion rate. He's averaging 5.3 assists per game in those last 9 games, which is actually kind of high as well because of one fluky game where he got 13 against the Bucks. It's absolutely insane. He's playing the Raptors. They do give up a lot of assists to the point guard position, but so I am going to let you know that they are like top 3 team in regards to giving up the most assists to the point guard. But that's to all point guards. And like I said, Chris Dunn could play 20 to 25 minutes in this game. He's not a guy who plays 35 minutes. And to me, the potential assist, the amount of minutes he's playing trumps the positional matchup and all that. But that positional matchup did probably make me move this from 5.5 to 6.5 to take the under. But lack of playing time and opportunities, I like his under 6.5 assists. Put that with Sadiq Bey over 7.5 RAs, Jalen Duren double plus 290. That is our Friday parlay and our show for Friday. Let's check out the bets recap. All right, we get the day started with our boy Kobe White, 18 plus points, 4 plus rebounds at minus 125 on DraftKings. Again, if you cannot do alt lines, I don't mind the Kobe White over 20.5 points. That would probably be my pivot for that one. Rockets and Clippers, money line parlay, minus 128 on BetMGM. Bruce Brown of the Pacers over 17.5 points plus rebounds. No Halliburton. Get it done, Bruce. And then the Friday parlay at plus 290. Give me Duren double, Sadiq Bey over 7.5 RAs, and Chris Dunn under 6.5 assists, which is an alt line. His line is 5.5. So that's the show for Friday. Thanks for all the support this week. Let's end the week with a bang. Continue the momentum from our little 2-0 sweep on Thursday. Stay tuned and check out those NFL videos that will be popping out throughout the next couple days. Saturday games video is already out now. So I hope everyone has a great Friday, a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.